Mas then, we have to make a determination na, preliminary determination kung sa tingin namin nuisance yung kandidato. And then sabi mo nga, I think we have to have a hearing to give that person the opportunity to disprove kumbaga yung preliminary finding of being a nuisance candidate.
So at what point does a candidate who filed today become an official candidate?
Technically, official candidate na yan, no, by filing. But as I said, you do not have a vested right to be a candidate, no? Because you can still be taken out of the list, either because you are disqualified, there is a court order that says that you cannot run, or COMELEC makes a determination that you are a nuisance candidate.
So the reason I ask is because yung sa campaign period, whether I know there are statements before that there's nothing considered as premature campaigning.
That's correct. Yan ang isa nating hamon eh. Na kumbaga, kasi pag titignan niyo yung ating election code, okay, BP 881, Batas Pambansa bilang 881, panahon pa po yan ni Pangulong Marcos. Okay? Ang naiisip ng ating election code ay manual voting. Okay, wala naman dating internet. Noong 1978, walang internet, walang cellphone. Ibang-iba na. So, kailangan na talagang amyendahan yung batas. So, ang problema natin ngayon is that yung official campaign period for national position starts pa February 9. And yet, yung certificate of candidacy filing must be pushed earlier because nga, yung preparations natin for an automated elections are more, I would say, involved. No? So we need more time to prepare for an automated election because the ballots are precinct specific.
Does that mean, sir, at this point they can do anything? They can do anything at this point, after this point?
Well, that's the question I also had to myself. No? And what we will be doing tomorrow is that the COMELEC and back, I put that in our agenda to ask, okay, what are the acts, prohibited acts, from now until 1st, January 10, which is the start of the election period, and then February 9, which is the start of the campaign period, and even during the campaign period, what are the prohibited acts? I think COMELEC has to be clear and transparent in respect of that.
Sir, last two na lang, sorry. Sa renunciation, sir, I understand before there were statements from the COMELEC that you will include an oath of renunciation. This is a separate document from the COC?
No. Now, in the form, in the COC, you are required to attach proof of your renunciation. Okay, but it's not really due. Kumbaga, meron na yan dati. In fact, yun nga ang nangyari dun sa bagong desisyon ng ating Korte Suprema, yung Arnado, no? Na sinasabi is that kung ikaw ay isang kandidato, kailangan ipakita mo na talagang na-renounce mo na yung foreign citizenship. So ito, ginagawa lang ng COMELEC is para lang mapaalala sa ating mga kandidato na kinakailangan yan segundo sa naging desisyon ng Korte Suprema.
Sir, that is hanging kay Grace Poe, yung question of citizenship, but she will be allowed to file.
Yes. As I told you, well, first of all, there's no final decision yet in respect of Senator Poe's case in the Senate Electoral Tribunal, and this pertains to her nomination, or no, to her position as a senator. So if she files here, and we understand she will be filing for the presidency, it would be different qualification.
Sir, update yung nakafile dito na petition ni David.
Yeah, it is being taken up by our law department.
So last, yung assurance, sir, why the need for it? Yung assurance nyo. Yung assurance, sir, ng mga girls.
Hindi, meron kasi ginawa namin, kumuha po kami ng mga volunteers sa iba't ibang mga eskwela. Okay, so Ateneo, UP, FEU Lasal, so yan po ang mga pumunta. Well, sa amin palagay, kala namin na makakatulong para nga mas maayos.
Chairman, Paterno po from Rappler. Chairman, yung mga LCD po, tsaka itong mga platform, itong setup, magkano po yung ginastos po ng COMELEC dito?
Hindi kasi laki ng ginagastos ng Rappler. Hindi naman ganun kalaki. I think it's in the, yung mga LCD po ay pinahiram sa amin. Kaya makikita nyo yung mga brand. Marami po dito pinahirap sa amin. Itong mga stage namin, hindi naman mamahalin. Mga karbintero, parang pinaayos lang namin.
Mga magkano po kaya, Chairman?
I think it's mga a few 100,000 pesos.
Alright. Nung last elections po ba, magkano po yung ginastos po natin sa, ano po, yung COC filing week?
Ay, hindi ko po alam kasi wala po ako doon. Ikaw ba nandito na noon?
Pero hindi po ako COMELEC official.
Pero nakita niyo ba?
Opo.
Okay. So, ano ang mas gusto niyo?
Chairman, good afternoon. Chairman.
Oh yes, ito bago to, hindi natin kilala ito. Yes.
I'm Trisha Macas from GMA News Online. Sir, malapit na po matapos ang ating voters registration. Meron na po ba tayong parang partial voters profile? Ano po ba yung what demographic comprise a big chunk of our electorate? Do you have that kind of data na po?
Merong preliminary, and what I recall, 37% are from the ages of 18 to 35. And just to provide context, in 2010, Pinoy won with 15.8 million votes. Yung youth vote, the 18 to 35, comprise about 20 million votes. So if 75% of this age bracket votes for a certain candidate, malamang mananalo yun. It's a very important segment. But we have preliminary numbers, and I think if you'd like, we can share it with you. Pero malapit na tayo, so konting tiis na lang.
Sir, one last question. Is there any way for us na nandito sa head HQ ng COMELEC na makakuha ng list of candidates na nag-file, filers from the different regions?
Dadalhin nila yan dito next week. Next week. Pero ang gusto rin namin gawin is that i-scan lahat ng mga COCs at ilagay sa aming website. So that's the direction we wish to take.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Chairman Cecil Villarosa po from DZWB. Chair, what would be the treatment of the COMELEC for those candidates who has pending case, especially po dun sa mga kaso na may possibility po na umakyat sa Supreme Court, considering that you have a deadline on December 10 po?
No, well, first of all, we have to honor, number one, yung presumption of innocence, which is enshrined in the Constitution. Number two, pag wala pang final order, we have to honor that as well. No? So, unless nga there is a final order that directs us to remove the name of a candidate, then we have to keep that name in the list.
Chairman, when we say final order, in case that, in the event that the case reaches the elevated to the Supreme Court, yun po yung final ruling po na tinutukoy natin, ano po?
Yes, but again, you have to be careful kasi nga, yung Supreme Court minsan, they also allow a motion for reconsideration. Mga ganyan. May mga ganyan issues. So, basta kami sa COMELEC, as you know, kung magkakaroon ng petition for disqualification, kami yung kumbaga first instance agency, but whatever decision of the Supreme Court is appealable to the Supreme Court.
Mr. Chairman, Cecil Morello po ng French News Agency. Meron na pong itong mga nakaraang linggo, Mr. Chairman, meron mga politiko na pinapatay o binobomba. Ano po ang portent nito sa mangyayari na magkakaroon ba ng violent elections tayo ulit sa next year po? And can you answer in English?
Well, we have made representations with our colleagues from the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police. They provided me with a preliminary overview of what they deem as the election hotspots, although they did tell me as well that it's not easy to determine an election hotspot, because they said this place can traditionally be an election hotspot. But if there is only one candidate running, otherwise if the candidate is running unopposed, then it does not anymore become an election hotspot. But on the other hand, there are places which are traditionally not election hotspots, but can be an election hotspot depending on who the candidates who will be running in that area.
Pwede po ba ma-share sa amin kung ano yung...
Ang daya mo, sabi mo sa akin, English only, tapos nun, mananagalog ka.
Will you be at liberty to share with us what to expect in terms of the overall safety and absence of violence, or maybe...
Well, as I said, we will be coordinating with the AFP and the PNP to make sure that incidents of violence are mitigated. Now again, as you know, these things sometimes are not...
Is it a cause for concern now? Serious concern?
Well, again, you know what would be good to see is how do the incidents of violence compare, say, to 2010?
Last question, Mr. Chairman. There are allegations by the opposition camp that the candidate of Mr. Aquino is using the resources of the state to get an advantage over the rival candidates. For example, the use of the government website to promote himself. What can the COMELEC do about this?
Well, first of all, again, if there are any allegations of impropriety, they should file cases with the COMELEC, and the COMELEC will act accordingly.
Chairman, Sir Gerard po from Malaya. Sir, is it possible, sir, just to expedite things, sir, yung blanket na disqualification ng mga perennial nuisance candidates, disqualification?
Well, we will take that up. I've also asked the COMELEC and Bank already tomorrow to preliminary look into nga yung issue ng nuisance candidates.
Sir, Dana Batnag from GG Press. Yung filing ng COC ends on 16. After that, what happens? When will the public hearings for the disqualification begin?
Well, after that, no? And we have, as I said, until December 10 to make a decision regarding the matter.
What happens?
Again, we will review the COCs that were filed by the candidates. As I said, chances are there will be people who will be filing disqualification candidates against other candidates. And then it's also possible that the COMELEC on its own, motu proprio, can make a determination that a particular candidate is a nuisance candidate. But we will only do that after observing due process.
Chairman Greg Gregorio from IBC 13. Sir, sinabi po ninyo kanina yung direktiba natin sa lahat ng COMELEC offices na tumanggap po ng lahat ng ifa-file na COC. Recently po may decision ng Ombudsman with regards to Makati Mayor Junjun Binay disqualifying him from holding any other government office. Will the COMELEC still tatanggapin pa rin po ba yung kung magfa-file siya ng COC within this week?
Yeah, well dyan, unang-una, hindi pa kami nakakatanggap ng order. Hindi ko alam kung sila nakatanggap ng order. Number 2 nga, tama po yun na ang desisyon ng Ombudsman ay immediately executory unless makakuha ng court order ang isang tao to prevent that decision from becoming immediately executory. So pwede silang kumuha ng TRO. I think pagka Office of the Ombudsman, it's with the Court of Appeals. So pagka ganon, then hindi makakuha nun, then kailangan namin i-execute.
Sir, so
hindi yung tinanong kanina nung nandito
sir,
siya.
hindi po kasi nagsalita si Senator Binay. Ay, si VP Binay.
Si Mayor, nandiyan din.
Hindi rin po namin nakuha. In relation din po doon kanina, Chairman, sabi po ninyo kaya tayo naglagay ng interview area para sa mga kakandidato na ilabas yung kanilang mga plataforma. Ano pong masasabi nyo na hindi nagbigay ng kahit anong mensahe si VP Binay and
alam mo, sa buhay walang pwersahan. Okay? Kung ayaw nilang makipag-usap sa inyo, di ba? Anong gagawa natin? On the contrary, meron din mga kandidato. Kanina nakita ko si Attorney Pamato gusto makipag-usap sa inyo, ayaw niyong kausapin. Tingnan mo, kailangan mutual consent. Walang pilitan. Tinatanong din yan tungkol sa mga debate. Sabi ko walang pilitan. Kung ayaw pumunta sa debate, kanilang choice yan. Pero sabi ko nga, ang kanilang hindi pagpunta ay mensahe na rin. Diba?
Chairman, last na po from my end. Napapatupad po ba natin yung 3 company policy natin dito per candidate.
Mukhang okay pa naman eh. As I said, nagka-problema kaninang umaga hindi dahil sa mga supporter, kundi dahil sa inyong mga kapwa media. So kailangan matuto tayong follow the rules. Follow the rules.
Sir, clarification lang. Christian Esguerra from ANC. If Mayor Junjun Binay files a COC, the COMELEC will accept it ministerially.
As I said again, it is, I don't think he will be filing here. He will be filing with COMELEC Makati. We leave it to COMELEC Makati to make that determination. But as I said, I have heard of the news report that there is an order, but I have not actually seen the order from the Office of the Ombudsman.
But you said your instructions to the COMELEC officers is to accept those COCs.
We are saying that as a general rule, that the accepting COCs is a ministerial function of COMELEC. So by and large, we should accept. Now, of course, if there is an order of a court or of a government agency which says you shouldn't do it, then people should follow accordingly.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, sorry.
Oh, no. Yung mga bago, sandali lang. Dito muna, dito na. Ikaw talaga.
Kasi, before a higher court, yung naging ruling ng Ombudsman against Makati Mayor Junjun Binay, medyo naguluhan lang po ako. Kung walang TRO po, the order has to be executed.
Tama po yun.
Hindi ba, sir, sorry lang, sir, ha, kasi hindi ba, sir, yung mere filing of the case before the higher court is already a bar for the resolution, for the ruling to be executed? Hindi ba, sir?
Hindi. Unang-una, ha, ang ombudsman ay parang prosecutor. Di ba? Hindi ang korte eh. Okay? Kaya lang nga, ang ombudsman is given the authority to make a decision which is immediately executory unless nga pipigilan ng korte. So kunyari, magpa-file ng kaso ang Office of the Ombudsman, ipa-file yan with the Sandigan Bayan as the court. But yung kanyang parang information na fina-file has an immediate effect because of law. Unless you get a restraining order from a court to basically stop that effect, then you have to immediately execute.
It would only apply for those ruling na sinasabi immediately executory po, Chair.
Tama po yan.
Pero for those order na wala namang ganong clause sa decision, final ruling po ng Supreme Court ang hihintayin. Ganun po ba? If ever lang naman po i-elevate yung case before the Supreme
Court.
Court.
Well, again, part and parcel of due process is that we have to wait for final orders of courts. It doesn't really have to be the Supreme Court. Kasi nga, ang pwedeng nangyayari minsan, may ginagawa ang isang lower court pero hindi naman ina-appeal, in which case, hindi pa final yung order. So it's final orders of courts ang aming pinapatupad.
Sir, sorry just to clarify on that. So sabi nyo, executory if ever walang TRO. So does that mean the COMELEC would reject or would not include the name of Junjun Binay dun sa list if ever walang TRO na lumabas?
That is a possibility.
Chairman Pio Gutierrez po may ABS-CBN. Chairman, are we open to having a special set of rules or another set of rules once the more popular presidential candidates come in to file their COCs para hindi na mangyari yung nangyari kanina with VP Binay, or are we expecting the media to behave better in the coming days?
It's the latter. Hindi, okay. Ang ano nyo sa akin, ano ba ang rules natin? Pero akala ko nga, ginagawa natin to. Because imagine, okay, kung lahat kayo ngayon nandun sa opisina doon at iniintay nyo yung kandidato, talagang bedlam eh. In fact, iniisip nga namin dati, siguro ilipat na yung certificate of filing of certificates of candidacy sa ibang venue na mas malaki. Pero nandito na tayo ngayon. Kung meron kayong mga panukala para mapabuti yung proseso, please let us know and we will consider.
Sir, just as a follow-up, last
Kanina,
na.
ang dami mo na.
Sir, isa lang.
GMA, sobra ka na.
Hindi klaro, sir. Mahirap naman yung hindi klaro, di ba? Sir, as a lawyer, can Junjun file his candidacy?
I don't see, well, as I said, at this point, he can do so. Now, again, the question is, should COMELEC accept? If there is no order yet that we have received, then we should accept. But again, just because we accept does not necessarily mean that they become an official candidate. that if later on we do receive an order and there is no restraining order, then we have to implement that decision.
Chairman Bautista, JC po, CNN Philippines. Just a little bit of follow-up doon. So, just to further clarify, so that means if the COMELEC does receive the order from the Ombudsman, there is no temporary restraining order from any court, and then we reach 5:01 p.m. on Friday na walang TRO sa order ng Ombudsman, then COMELEC must decline to receive the COC of Junjun Binay.
No, I don't think we have to be hung up on whether to accept or not to accept. I think that the issue is, will he become an official candidate? Okay. But that to me is the question. And as I said, if there is an order of the Ombudsman which says that it is immediately executory, then we are duty-bound to implement that order unless there is a temporary restraining order that will be obtained by Mayor Binay. Now, this can happen this week, it can happen next week, it can happen the following. Wala namang timeline in respect of that.
Just extrapolating a little, Chairman. So, for instance, umabot yung process sometime next week, like October 17. Can he file a COC?
No, okay. The filing of the COC is from October 12 to 16. Okay. 8 to 5 p.m. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, Chairman. Thank you.
Magandang hapon po. Genaro Jose, publisher of a local newspaper, The Truth from Region 2. I have only one concern, Mr. Chairman. My concern is about the COMELEC voters ID. And these IDs were considered as a valid ID that we can use in any transactions in the government. But now, until now, we don't have yet in our possession our IDs.
Saan po ba kayo
from
rehistrado?
Region 2.
Region 2.
Yes, and a lot of people don't have that ID in their possession.
Yeah.
And this is very important for their transaction in any government offices and others.
Meron nga po kaming backlog dyan, no? Sa totoo lang, we need to get new equipment para po makagawa ng mga mas maraming ID. But having said that, meron din pong inventory ng about 5 million IDs that are found in different COMELEC offices. No? Pero ang pwede nyo pong gawin, pagkatapos po ng press code, kausapin nyo po si James Jimenez, baka po makuha nyo yung ID niya sa kanya. Kasi marami po kilala yan.
And we heard that a huge amount of money were spent in these IDs. How much? If you have the idea so that we are aware of that.
Again, sabi ko lang sa inyo, is nga nagkukulang dyan less than 10 pesos daw.
Last question, please. Last question. Sida?
Mr. Chairman, short and sweet lang po.
French.
Related sa mga
questions.
Related to my earlier questions, can you give us an assurance that we will have credible elections and fair and credible elections?
As I said, tamang pagboto, tamang pagbilang. Yan po ang aming slogan para sa ating halalan sa 2016. We are trying to encourage our voters to vote right, and on the part of COMELEC, we are committed to counting the votes right as well.
But you cannot assure us about the first one, the violence.
Can you assure us that we will be alive tomorrow?
I have
my friend in life,
a high degree of confidence in this administration.
Well, I have a high degree of confidence as well that things will go right.
Sir, there's may pahabol na question sa isang kagandahan, sir. Miss Linda J.
Nakakatakot yan. Ako, si Madam LJ.
Madam, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Well, for those who have already filed their COCs and those who will have filed their COCs by the end of the week, what are we expect them to, intensify already yung pag-iikot nila. They're going around, talking to groups. Maybe this is a good time to remind them what they can do, cannot do, can say, cannot say, so that they won't run afoul with election laws.
Kumbaga sa klase, makikita mo, late dumating si Madam LJ, no? Kasi sinagot kanina yan, tinanong na yan, okay. So in fact, tomorrow, naka-agenda po sa COMELEC and Bangka, because I wanted to ask myself that from now until January 10, which is the start of the election period, what can they do and what can't they do? From January 10 to February 9, that's the start, yung election period. Again, what are the acts they can do and what are the prohibited acts? Campaign period starts February 9 for national candidates. Again, what can they do and what they can. So I think what COMELEC needs to do is to come out with a resolution that clearly states what they can do and what they can't do in these time periods. Again, yes. The problem is, as I said, because of the decision of the Supreme Court in Peñera in 2009, basically they said there's no such thing as premature campaigning. It is not prohibited under the law. And they say that premature campaigning can only happen during the campaign period. But if it happens during the campaign period, it's no longer premature. So I've said this to the public, I've said this to Congress as well. We need to fix our election laws to make it more attuned to our times.
Okay, thank you. Diyan po nagtatapos ang ating press con. Salamat. Salamat.